It was a good weekend for the UNA volleyball team, and we'll catch up with UNA head coach Bob White and coach playing in Chattanooga in the Chattanooga Classic. You guys go 2-1. You pick up the first Division I win over Tennessee State, another win over UNC Asheville before falling to Chattanooga in the championship match. First off, congratulations on your first career win at North Alabama and the first Division I win. But overall, what sort of improvement did you see from weekend 1 to weekend 2?
Well, I think we're right with our game plan right now, where we want to be. You know, we talked about this several times already. We want to just take each match at a time and use that to try to build our momentum and our confidence really amongst our team. And as we bring this unique group of players from all over the world really together and start to build some team chemistry. And so I think what you saw was we saw glimpses of it the first weekend, and then now this second weekend in Chattanooga, you saw the pieces start to come together and then really start to trust each other out on the court. Both of those programs that we beat are good established programs. We've been around in Division I for quite a while, and those coaches have been there for a while. So to match up and come away with 2 victories was really good. I think the biggest highlight for us this weekend actually was the loss to UTC. I think UTC is a team that went to the SoCon Championship and won it in 2015. And so they know that we could come into their home court, big crowd. They built it as a championship, for us. So it was kind of excited to be in a championship in our second week and building a program. And so it was great for us. We were so close. We would have loved to have the win, but we had some outstanding players this weekend. So I was really proud of the way they all stepped up.
One of those outstanding players was senior Malaysia Stallworth. We'll chat with her later on in this video, Coach. Double-digit kills in 2 out of the 3 matches. What did you see out of her this weekend?
Well, you have to go back to last year, and I know that Malaysia didn't even start last year, and so she came in super hungry. I think that bringing Haley in as a middles coach and a right sides coach and giving her that a lot more individual attention. We do a lot of what we call mini practices, and we'll bring in just the middles and maybe the outsides and the right sides, and so she's getting a lot of undivided attention right now that she never really got before, and she's just eating it up. She's one of the funnest players I've ever had to coach. I'd love to have had her for 4 years, but what she's done since August the 8th to today is remarkable. But she had it in her. She's a great athlete, and so she just had her moment, and at the right time, she's shown real well.
Any other players that stood out over the weekend?
Well, Hennessy's, our libero, ended up making the all-tournament team also. She was in a tough position when we lost our other OH, our OH2, went down, Sophia from Germany. When she went down with an ankle sprain, it meant our block on that side was much smaller on the side that she has to defend, and so she had to dig a lot more balls than probably normally she would have, and she picked right up. Where we had a weakness, she kind of filled that void, and that's not easy when there's no block sometimes and the ball's coming at you, you're straight on, untouched. So I thought she did a really, really good job. Katie, our lad who's a freshman, walk-on, coming in for us to take Sophia's spot up front. Outstanding job. She held her own. I think against UTC she had 10 kills and hit a high percentage. So we have a lot of freshmen stepping up. I think 3 or 4 in the starting lineup most of the time. So I'm proud of the whole team effort. We're not as deep as any of these teams are, so we can't go any further in our bench than we are right now because of the injuries we are, and so we moved some things around, and it worked really well for us.
All right, Coach, next up, one more tournament. You guys travel to Memphis, Tennessee for the Memphis Tiger Invitational. You'll play Tennessee Tech, Louisiana Monroe, and the host school, Memphis. Seems like tougher competition continues week in, week out. What do you expect this weekend?
Yeah, I think that's it. It'll be a little bit tougher, and that's what we'd hoped for. You didn't know that when I looked at the tournament schedule, but now and looking in film and reviewing the teams we're going to play, they're all quality teams, quality Division I teams, and we're going to have to bring our A game with still with two starters out with injuries basically. So that's okay. We basically have the same lineup that we played UTC with, and we've been 2 days, day 2, practice a little bit more with that, and so we have high expectations going in there. I'd love to come out with a winning record again. I think anytime we come out 2-1 it'd be great. 3-0 obviously would be super great. But our goal will be going there and to do the best that we can, and then use that to springboard into the conference coming up, the ASUN.
Coach, thank you for the time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
We're in the Roar Room now, catching up with UNA senior volleyball player Malaysia Stallworth. And Malaysia, first off, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. And let's talk about this past weekend. North Alabama picks up the first ever Division I win, a very historic volleyball program. You've been a part of it for 2 years now, but the win over Tennessee State, I mean, what did it mean to you to be a part of that historic win?
It was very exciting, actually. We all came together and we played very well. And to come from, not a bad weekend, but just a learning experience, and to build from that, it was very fun.
Now, you had an outstanding weekend at the tournament up in Chattanooga. You had double digits in kills in 2 of the 3 matches played. You were named to the all-tournament team. What was working so well for you this past weekend?
I think just our setter connection worked very well. We do a lot of minis at practice, so I guess just to see that translate, it worked out.
Now, you are one of 3 seniors on this year's team, one of just a handful of returnees from a year ago. So there's a lot of fresh faces, a new coaching staff as well. But what's it been like building that team chemistry so far through 2 tournaments and preseason practice?
I think every day we get closer and closer as a team. We learn who's going to get what balls, who's not going to get what balls, who's going to do this and that. So I think as we progress, it's getting a lot better.
Last thing for you, Malaysia, you're a senior. You'll graduate in the next year or so. What are you majoring in, and what do you want to do when you finish?
My major is exercise science, and after this, I'd like to go to PT school.
PT school, you've got it all figured out, Malaysia. Thank you for chatting with us.
Thank you.